being one of the founders of the center, one of the major things that we show to people is that we could walk the talk, meaning we could do a venture just like an entrepreneur. And over the period when we set up the center, to some extent we illustrate three commonly known principles of entrepreneurship. And I can talk about these principles and let you see in the story of CFE how these three principles are being applied. So the three principles are: pursue opportunities without regard to resources at hand. The only way to predict the future is to create the future. And the third one: fail frequently and quickly to succeed fast. So let me talk about the third principle first. The center failed because actually we had some success in the very beginning, but we didn't capture it. For example, Chinese University was the first school to host an Asia-wide business planning competition. That's back before the .com. It's called Asian Woodcorp. We ran it for a few years. It was successful, but because of resources and the consideration of the school, we gave up the Asian Woodcorp, and the Asian Woodcorp is now hosted by Sassoon University in Thailand. It was so successful that they hang on to it without letting other schools to run it again. So these are some of the things that we didn't do well, okay? And so we have to learn from it. So when we set up the center, we knew that entrepreneurship is not for everybody, okay? It's for a relatively small group of people with passion. So our principles of trying to recruit a lot of people to study entrepreneurship or work with us have changed. So getting the crowd, the general people, normal people, let's say, to work on entrepreneurship with us is not an easy task, and it's not realistic. So we focus on finding out a relatively small group of people who has a passion, who love to do something new. The second principle is to pursue opportunity without regard to resources at hand. What we try to do is to find resources, to pick on opportunities that popped up, okay, and then collect resources along the way as much as we could. So, for example, there was the reason why we were able to conduct the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor research was because of a professor, Paul Reynolds. He was the founder of Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. He came to Hong Kong and he was trying to look for people whose interest to work for him in Hong Kong. He walked around, but not too many people are interested at that time, I have to say. And somehow we hooked up with him, and we think that there's an opportunity. It's a global study with a big name, but only that at that time the local people don't think that is a worthwhile project. So we picked it up, worked with Paul, and we were able to convince the SME fund to fund this project. So the SME fund, after we wrote a proposal, worked with Paul, we got $1.8 million to conduct this research for 3 years. We used the money to conduct research and brought some publicity around to let people know that Hong Kong was actually quite low, of course to our surprise at that time, on entrepreneurship. And we draw the attention of people. We got people interested in entrepreneurship to come to us, and we slowly we build a team. So we are collecting resources along the way, and so that and using this fund, we were able to recruit people. We were able to branch out to other areas, and also get, and most important, get recognition of the government, of the community, that help us to continue to build a center. The third principle is the only way to predict the future is to create the future. A lot of people would think that in order to be successful, we need to know what the future is about. But they underestimate the need for people who want to build the future to create the future themselves. The reason is that there are a lot of things that not exist for future things to come, meaning the demand of people, or people know that they have a demand, but they don't know what that demand is like. So an example is like iPod or iPad. I mean, like if we talk about an iPad 5 years ago, people don't know what is an iPad because they haven't seen the product. So, but there's a demand. So for people who have a future vision, like us, who want to inspire future entrepreneurship, we have to build the future, not to just to predict the future and wait until we have the resources. So we started the Total Harbor Business Angel Support Network to, and behind this network, we use the resource of CFE. So we had the ability to connect with potential investors. We have the ability to teach this investor to do angel investment. We're able to solicit deal flows. It's not easy for any organization, entity to do that, but we have the ability. And we show people after a few sessions that there's actually investors in Hong Kong interested in early stage ventures. And the Hong Kong Science Park picked this up because they had the same mission as us to support early stage ventures. So we joined force, and now we established together the Hong Kong Business Angel Network, which is a non-profit making organization. Over the last year, we had about 100 new companies pitching to investors, and out of that, the investors invested in 9 companies for a total amount of about 30 million. It's a significant amount for early stage ventures because if you do the math, you can see that each of the new companies will be able to get an investment amount of about 3 million. That's enough to fill the gap between early stage ventures for them to mature into bigger companies. And we will continue to create the future. Like in Hong Kong, there's no angel funds or established angel funds. We create the future, and in the next year or so, we expect to, after showing the possibility of angel investment and the benefit of it, we believe that we could attract even more money, probably from CUHK alumni, to invest in early stage ventures from Chinese universities and from outside organizations. And that would benefit the school and Hong Kong, because Hong Kong are now looking for creative and innovative business. So I think over the years, CFEs have walked the talk, and based on the 3 principles that I told you guys: pursue opportunities without regard to resources at hand, fail frequently and quickly to succeed fast, and lastly, the only way to predict the future is to create the future. I think for people interested to pursue their own business or interested in entrepreneurship, can find these principles useful and the story of CFE inspiring.